The cheating arc has begun, or at least that's what I'm gonna call it, as Asagumo and Nukamizu have found themselves in a sticky situation, I guess we could say. Very, very weird spot to find yourself in, spying on, you know, the person you're in a relationship with while suspecting them of cheating and then being caught with another dude who you're assumed to probably be cheating at this point. It's a weird situation, and Lemon's got herself in the mix too. I'm very excited to see how it goes and how they get out of this situation, but I feel like Lemon might be very heartbroken by the end of the episode. I don't know, so we'll see. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like it all, like and subscribe. Now to me, feel free to stick around for the discussion on the concept of this series. Is going episode is 6. That's crazy. What do you mean you can accept that? Ask her. Why are you asking him? I guess she could lie, but he didn't do anything wrong. He's probably just trying to buy her a present and find some spots for them. Yeah, well, we weren't either. Yeah, she's the one who would know. Oh, is that your dad? He looks the same. Yeah, of all people. Well, it's the only person you're close to. And she's a girl, yeah. Lemon understanding how other girls feel. Or... I get it. Good job connecting the dots, brother. No. Well, that only leaves 3, and one of the other ones has a man's. I don't know about all that. Oh, brother, why is Lemon here? No. It'll be shown to people. I can't. She's gonna have a fun time. She's gonna have a fun time. She just likes to complain, you know? Aww. Yeah. A bunch of stuff actually happened over the past couple days. Why'd you come, though? Yes. What do you mean, weirdly? Of course he is. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like that. Just not how she feels either. Well, at least tell yourself that. Look, you're long enough to notice my good traits. I like how hard he's trying. Yeah, why can't you guys just engage in a relationship like that, you know? Get the hint at this point that he doesn't want that.
待ってくれ。これには事情が。
月、あんたはちゃんと朝雲さんのそばにいなってば。私たちは3人で見る。美月は朝雲さんと見る。はい、これで話はおしまい。
Just listen to her.
あんたの彼女は朝雲さんなんだから。彼女を
She's doing everything she can to help herself the best she can in the situation.
だよ。私の惚れた男なんだからもっとシャンと。
I don't like that.
焼き塩が惚れたほどの男なんだから、もうちょいしっかり。惚れ？
I didn't even realize.
レモン。
What do you mean by that?
惚れた男って。
Oh.
今のは
Oh.
近くて違うから。
レモン。
美月さんダメ。行かないで。
だけど。
だって私はここにいます。
Right, don't go be chasing after another girl. She's already insecure enough. Oh, a disaster of a fucking day already.
中水君。
Staying with your girlfriend, not chasing after the other girl, but he leaves instead and leaves his behind. Even though they're not dating, but you know, the connection that's there.
武士作るって話、何書くか決めた。
こういう時って笑える。
Right. So you're just making small talk here.
あるところに一人の女の子がいました。走るのが大好きな女の子はある日一人の女の子
Oh, brother.
お城に行きたかったけど礼儀作法を知らないし舞踏会のダンスも踊れません。悲しむ女の子を見て王子様は一緒にダンスの練習をしてくれました。女の子は一生懸命練習しました。そうして女の子は王子様と一緒にそのお城に行くことができました。
But then... Oh.
この後、王子様と女の子はどうなったんだ？
それでおしまい。物語はね、いつだってめでたしめでたしで終わりなの。
Well, this isn't a story, is it? Well, it is for us. Oh.
すいません、こんな夜分に。
Remember what happened last time we were together. You be careful now.
焼き塩さんと連絡取れましたか？私の気持ちが中途半端だったせいですって。焼き塩さんを追う彼を止めるべきでは。
No, you did the right thing.
あれは朝雲さんは悪くないよ。これで二人が別れたら、それこそ焼き塩は本当に傷つくだろう。そのことは俺に任せてくれないか？
はい。ではせめてこれを。
いや、それ使っちゃダメだからね。約束だよ。
Come on, I bought it for a reason. So with him having to see people off on transportation today.
あのこと聞いたよ。大変だったね。
He's out here spilling stuff.
それでさ、今焼き塩ちゃん新城にあるおばあさんの家にいるらしいの。
It might be her herself. Okay.
先輩、ちょっと話が見えないんですが。
Please explain.
決まってるでしょ。みんなで焼き塩ちゃんを迎えに行くの。
なんで俺はこんなところに。
Why did I have to go? Couldn't all the girls just go?
じゃあ食べに行こうか。
What you looking at eating here?
私、糖質について考えてたの。
そうか、考えちゃった。
Right. The action's different, but...
人間が狩猟生活から農耕民族に移ったでしょ。つまりそれは糖質生活への移行でもあるの。
へえ、そうなんだ。その話まだ続く？
人類は糖質の奴隷と言っても過言じゃないんだ。
つまりやっぱそうめんの食べ過ぎで太って。
太ってません。嫌なみっちゃん。1年ぶり15回目のナイスボディです。メジャムの酸味が昔やんちゃしてた感がないかな。そこをあえて右に回す世代交代。
こいつら何やってんだ？
ぬくみずくん、説明が必要
I'm
なの。
confused.
いらないです。
Yeah, just stop.
世間では負のものは鉛筆と消しゴムを見ても攻めと受けを考えるとか、そんな偏見が広まっているわ。
今やってたのは違うんです。右とか左とか言ってるのは何なんですか？
It's all different than top and
横書
bottom.
きの文字で書くと攻め受け、
Okay.
攻めの方が左側に来るでしょ。左が攻め、右が受けって意味なの。
これなら人前でも談義ができる。
できてもするな。
I'm glad she's finding friends and things to discuss, you know?
どんどん山奥に進んでますよね。
大丈夫だってカーナビがあるから。
Yeah, she'd be driving and everything.
でもなんでおばあちゃん家にいるって分かったんですか？
焼き塩ちゃん陸上部の方も休んでるみたいでさ、部長から相談されて一緒に焼き塩ちゃんのお母
Okay, so that's where we got our info. She didn't actually tell you.
さんがおかしいの心配していてね。
She went up into the mountains to think.
よーし着いた。
You wipe yourself?
焼
Jesus.
き塩一族とはいえこんなところに住んでないだろ
なんか道迷っちゃってさ。
Never know, they could just be in the caves and stuff.
エルの覚悟で下流から映える写真撮って。
う。柳波さんのスマホごと流されてよければ。
ああ。はい。中水くん。
何やってんの小まり。
騒がにいた。
ほう騒がに。
No!
あまり喋るな。出てこなくなる。
Take the picture.
ポーズ取らせといてどういうつもり？カニ。
Ooh.
こまりちゃんもカニ。
Do something.
どうしたんだ？
改めて動けと言われるとどうしていいかわかんない。
Just do what you did before it was on.
歌ってみたら？ゾウさんとか。
なんかかわいそうな感じにならない？大丈夫？
おっ
Oh.
どうしたの？タラバガニでも出た。つわい？
もうちょいレアものが。
マジで？毛ガニ？
Wow. A disaster of a meeting.
猫足バスタブ本物初めて見たよ。元は誰かの別荘だったらしいよ。
これからどうしましょう？
どうしましょうって、元気そうだしよかったじゃない。
だからですよ。わかりやすく落ち込んでたらいいんですけど、あんな風に元気にしてたら帰ってない。
Right. She could be chill, but realistically, she's not going to show you that.
急ぐのは君の悪い癖だね。
Just let things play out. It'll show itself.
から元気も元気のうちよ。まずは彼女に寄り添ってあげなさい。はい、こまりちゃん、次どうぞ。
私は別に肩張ってない。
まあまあ。
ありがとね。気を使ってもらって。
Hmm.
ただいま。
Oh, there's people.
お客さんかい？
おかえりおばあちゃん。
そうだ。せっかくだからお寿司でも取ろうか。みんな苦手なものはない？
そこまで迷惑をおかけするわけには。
Why would you say that?
大丈夫です。何でも食べられます。
No, that we should be an I.
いただきます。
身がふわふわで
どう？
Jesus, slow down.
早く食べた方がいいぞ。思った以上に寿司の減りが早い。
いくらは初めてだから少し怖い。
そっとしておこう。
はい、こまりちゃん。これ食べなよ。ウニとアワビ。
どっちも食べたことない。
Full new experience. It was good for her.
寂しくないですか？
今はネットもあるし。
Right, it's chill.
こうして孫もお客さんを連れてきてくれるし。
Hmm. Yeah, she comes to hang out, you know?
このまま泊まっていきなよ。部屋はたくさんあるし。
気持ちは嬉しいけど、着替えとか持ってきてないし。ちょっと待てよ。柳は川に落ちた後、新しい服に着替え。ひょっとして。
あ
最初から泊ま
I didn't tell him.
ですか？
あれ？
No,
言ってなかったっけ？
聞いてませんし。
brother wouldn't have come.
急に泊まるとか言っても迷惑だろうし。
いいじゃない。みんな泊まってくれたら嬉しいわ。
自分。
おばあちゃんに任せておきなさい。
あ
I love when Kamari tries to tries to play it. cheating and misunderstanding cleared up, but heartbreak ends up coming through. First thing I would like to say, props to Lemon's voice actress. That one scene with the bus stop was really fucking stellar, and she did an amazing job telling that story and clearly having like a bunch of shakiness and uncertainty within her own voice as she delivered it. So I just want to say that excellent job. A lot of times throughout the entirety of the series, different moments, the voice acting's been really great from a lot of the cast, so it's nice to see how some of them, even who have memorable like other characters and stuff that they voice, don't necessarily have like scenes where I think certain moments like this, like very subtle things, can shine, or that I've really picked up on. And I think throughout this show they've all displayed that they definitely have that ability if needed. So it's wonderful to be able to get that, and she delivered absolutely on it. The episode's more laid back while still having decent amount, of course, of like drama and misunderstandings and things that come more so in the first half. It was nice, especially in the second half, and even throughout the beginning of when we end up going towards the museum and everything, of having things toned down a little bit and just having some fun moments between the characters, like exploring and trying out and doing different things, which was always nice. It gave like a real slice of life vibe to the entirety of the episode that just really was very reliant, I guess, on the overall interactions and stuff between the characters, like exploring their everyday life, which is a awesome thing to be able to get, because the characters really do, while there is stuff like with the overall plot of what we're going for, the characters themselves carry a strong portion of the series, just for their insanely like widely different personalities, but just how fun and goofy a lot of them can be too. So even in like subtle moments when jokes aren't supposed to be like the highlight of the exact moment, and it is something a little bit more toned down, it was just like entertaining. Like even watching like the crab scene when Lemon ends up showing up, how we end up having Kamari and Nukumizu just like stand there and be like kind of chill with it and don't really react or anything in like any sort of way until the overall, you know, explosion of a moment happens where they fall into the water. But just being able to have like those subtle moments of just seeing how like real people would act in a situation to like help their friend like prank somebody or spook somebody or whatever is really fun. And I think those little touches do a excellent job at making them not feel like as animated as I guess they typically do, and make them just feel more so like normal and real people. The Lemon stuff sucks. It's difficult. Everybody handles stuff different, so there's no like a one size fits all here for it. There's no one like this thing is the exact thing that they're going for that will work. Likely what we are going for is more so Lemon just doesn't really want to have that vulnerable side or show it off to anybody, and especially being surrounded by people is going to do whatever she can to put on that mask and that brave face to act as though this isn't what's actually happening or how she's actually feeling, which is fair. I mean, everybody for the most part acts out in sort of ways like that. But when you're alone, that's when your true self can kind of be able to be shown off. So of course, you know, running up to the mountains and being with her grandma here, being isolated a lot more and further away from people, gives her that opportunity to kind of just reflect on everything and be alone. But when your friends come, she still wants to put on that smile and act like she's happy. We can play a route fully. I don't think we will, but we can just play it where she's actually just happy and having a good supporting cast of people kind of around her and willing to show that they do care for her, and like even showing up and hanging out with her to like get her mind off of these sort of things is all she really needs, and she doesn't need that time. But for the most part, most people do need that time to be alone, kind of reflect on this stuff, and maybe being distracted by this enough will give her enough of that strength to do so and to allow herself to be put in that situation. And shit, maybe she can even discuss it with them, and that'll allow her to work through her own troubles. But I think it is pretty clear that they're trying to showcase that she's putting on some sort of act, still around them, acting as though everything's okay. And that's the same thing that happened when she was at the museum, acting as though she's all right and nothing's wrong here. But in reality, it was, but she was able to tell herself that until we got to the moment where Asaguma like ends up coming over and like grabbing on to her boyfriend, right? Like that's the moment of like, shit, you're right. They're spending like they're very close. They have this sort of like physical touch and contact and stuff that I don't have or I can't have. So I can't just keep telling myself that they're just like walking together or whatever's going on. Like it's harder to lie to yourself when you physically are seeing that. And she tries her hardest throughout until we get to that point. But it all just came crashing down at that moment. And well, actually, it all came crashing down when she realized that she did a confession that wasn't supposed to be there. That moment didn't hit for me. So like transparency, it's literally been a month and a half since I watched an episode. I watched the first 5 episodes, like I think within like a day or two, and then I just got them up. I did like 1 episode a week, and then I haven't watched one since, and I just been really delayed on everything. So finally getting around to watch it. So I couldn't remember in that moment when they were like acting like that was crazy, if it was just because she said the word love and like before she mentioned that she liked him, or if it was more on the ends of like she didn't confess. Like, and I still to this moment can't remember what happened. So I'm gonna go back and check. But I could have sworn she did confess, and then it just like turned out bad. But actually, she might have not had the opportunity to. I think she just lashed out at him, right? And then he came back with like, oh, I'm actually in, not lashed out, but like lashed out in the way of like getting mad that he kept saying that she like could find somebody better or do better or like whatever, and that there's always somebody out there because she's so great and stuff. And she got mad that he kept putting himself down and kept saying all that type of stuff when, you know, in reality she is interested in him. And then he came forward with the fact that he has a girlfriend. I think that's what happened, but I could be wrong. So this was like a full on like confession and admission of feelings. But yeah, absolutely sucks, especially in front of his girl, having to display that. And it's not just a one-on-one, so everybody else has to witness the embarrassment that could potentially come along with it. Absolutely sucks. I have more I want to talk about in that scene, but it'll be better to do, I think, as we're visually kind of following along with it, kind of just asking him what's going on. And right here we set it up. We've displayed it before, his lack of understanding when it comes to reading the room and like reading just other people that you're talking to, with his like kind of bragging almost of the gift that he was given by his girlfriend and everything, right? Like he struggles to understand that, and he even makes note of it in this moment that like, oh look, I figured something out, and everybody doesn't think I'm good at this sort of stuff, or I can't really read the room, but I'm great at it. So it sets it up perfectly, of course, for the stupid moment that were to come by the back end. His willingness to just like have somebody else go at Lemon is just like it's almost telling in a way. Like he doesn't recognize how much she cares for him and how much she likes him, and he really does value her as a person and as a friend and like everything, and he wants nothing but the best for her. But it's similar to what we got with the Yanami situation previously, where she wasn't given the opportunity to fully just kind of like let her feelings play out the way that they should, and wasn't given the chance to even come forward and like properly confess and do everything the way that she wants to. And instead was just being told by this person of things to do and like acting like everything was okay, when in reality it's really not. And you're not giving that person that full chance to like go through, deal with the heartbreak, move on, like go have these chances. And instead he's already like, he doesn't recognize it because he's still, you know, completely clouded in this moment, but doesn't recognize the fact that he is pushing her away without actually giving her the chance to like let her feelings be resolved in any sort of way. But it comes out and he starts trying to deduce exactly who we might be into. And there's only one real option for that, so we got to get her to come with us. I like how she gets all dressed up and everything. Why Lemon's here is crazy. Just trying to be nice, but at the end of the day, kind of sucks of a decision. Something about cute girls getting happy, jumping up and down and stuff over things that they enjoy or they find interesting. Just, it does wonders on the heart, you know? So much. I love that Yano was able to find some fun later on too, despite her initial anger. And Lemon plays it extremely mature, right? Clearly putting on more of an act, but it is easy to do with the way that she's acting here. I'm their biggest cheerleader. Yeah, telling yourself things to make things a little bit easier on yourself. Some fun little moments, and here we go. We're gonna split. We're gonna give you some alone time. And nobody, the thing is, he's wrong. Mitsuki's wrong fully for not recognizing not being able to read the room, what we've talked about, right? He can't do it, and he's wrong for that. But at the same time, the general idea that he was under the impression that he came here to give Nukumizu alone time with Yanami is exactly what he's doing. So everything that he's doing here is trying to make it feel that way. And to make it less awkward, he probably also made up the idea that Lemon being here would make it feel more like a group environment, but then they can do things like as a trio to then isolate him, right? So in his mind, he's doing something good and he's working hard for it. And I'm assuming Asuguma's under this exact same impression, right? That this is what they're doing, so she's working hard to keep Lemon around. Plus, if Lemon's somebody who's really important and is a really good friend and everything, of course, to her boyfriend, she's she's gonna want to get at least a little close to him, or at least understand her a bit, and trying to get her own read on this person to see if this is a person I should be, concerned with as a potential like rival trying to take it. She's already concerned and worried about that, right? But this will allow her more chances to like get a little closer and understand this person and see maybe a chemistry and things between them, and kind of make up her own mind about like the way that she feels, and if she's like holding him back from what he truly wants and stuff, which is all just stupid stuff anyways, and insecurities, within her own relationship and on her own part. But I think they have the right idea and they want to do the correct thing here, which is in their mind giving them a chance. But the problem is they don't realize exactly how deep into this Lemon is, and how much she's trying to cover up, and how difficult this entire day has probably been on her. So her trying to give a chance to keep them alone so she doesn't have to be put into this trio that she doesn't necessarily want to have to be a part of any more than she needs to, is very hard. So it creates this entire mess of a situation where she's trying to be the right one. She's trying to be the mature one in this situation. And she's trying to let them know, like, no, we don't need to do that. Because she's also not clued into, I think, fully what's going on here and what their own envision is of trying to get Nukumizu alone here. So it makes the entire situation very difficult. When she says it as stern as she does here, you should probably be able to read it. But the fact that he wasn't able to is a complete disaster. Grabs onto him, immediately lights her up. What the actual fuck? But then it's like, okay, right, clarity. She's holding on to him. This is exactly what she might want this too. Put her first and go with that. And then she says a bunch of shit that she shouldn't, which everybody's like, what the fuck? She recognizes it. They're like, what do you mean by that? And immediately gone. You can't cover up. There's only to a certain level. This is intriguing. The insecurities we know on Asaguma's part of their own relationship, of his relationship with Lemon, the concern that he would willingly run and go after. Is it because he's just a good person? Is it because he cares for her on a different level? It's hard for her to kind of gain that judgment, and she's afraid that if he runs, she's going to fully lose him at this point. So she needs to hold him back and needs to keep him here. But the problem with that is, if you gave him free reign to go, even if he didn't necessarily mean it, you may have your answer of exactly who he cares for and what exactly he wants to be around and how he wants to feel, even though he necessarily didn't do anything wrong in his own mind at this point. So it's a weird, tricky situation. She felt bad later on that she held him back, but at the same time, you didn't do anything wrong by wanting your boyfriend to stay with you as opposed to going with another girl. But maybe you did, because maybe you didn't get that clarity. Maybe you didn't get that answer that you felt that you should have in this moment, or you possibly could have in this moment. And of course, he runs away. We do like a nice little thing. You got to stay behind with your person. So at the same time, Nukumizu probably should stay with Yanami. Instead, he doesn't, and he ends up running away. This isn't my style, and he runs, trying to find Lemon, who's deep in thought. I love as he gets closer, and as she recognizes somebody's coming for her, the eyes kind of widen a little bit more. Just a fun little detail. I wonder if it's also recognition of it was probably him, or if it was somebody else, which could be development towards feelings that she would likely end up gaining at some point, that I think we've been pushing more and more towards. It's been a lot more obvious on her part, I think, that she might have something a little bit for him than any of the other girls, but could kind of be pushing towards that. I don't know. And she tells a little story overall. So it's a fairy tale, right? Everything goes right. Things are bad for somebody. They taken in by somebody else. They're taught things. They're given potential, like they're given something that they didn't have before. They live a happy life together, right? These people are important to each other. They give each other something. What happens after that, though? Nothing happens, right? It's a happy story, of course, but that's not what we live in, right? This is real life at the end of the day. We can't always go through and have these moments. Getting called out here just so we can have this conversation. She still struggles with her own feelings and stuff within the relationship, but she gets things cleared up a little bit. And here's the call. Let's go. We got to go talk to Lemon after she found out some information and snooped around. And then just the entire half of this episode is wonderful. I absolutely adore this. I think it's just fun interactions between friends and people who get along and have very extreme personalities. The top-bottom debate between these two is great. I love that they just publicly are doing it. I love Kamari being more and more introduced into the group as somebody who has struggled over and over with, talking and being with other people, being like very much, involved in what's going on is so fun for me. And I absolutely adore that. Because she seems like she's living her best life and she's having a ton of fun. Vice President is actually looking amazing throughout this too. I love the style. I love her. We're getting a little lost, of course. A very cute scene of just all of them hanging out and being on the same page as Kamari, learning a little bit more about her as Yana gets smacked. Just trying to flick up, you know? The struggle when the video's actually rolling, and here comes Lemon, who finds us to mess around. Cute. Massage chair stuff's really fun. Her getting Kamari up. I also just like what she ends up bringing attention to, right? Like, you're trying to rush these things. You can't just like openly ask people or take these things from them, or like get them to explain everything that's going on in their mind. They'll open up if you show them that you're close enough, that you care, that you're giving them that time of day, right? They'll also, if you give them that time to get over it and to reflect on it and be put in a state that it's like that, they'll probably open up. And even if they don't, it gives them time, at least for themselves, to kind of go through and either get over this or trying to work through it on their own. You got to be patient with people who are in difficult situations. And I love her willingly knowing that, talking to somebody who doesn't know that and letting him know that. Like, I think that's great. And here comes Grandma. Lemon, just a blast right now, right? Like, she's so fun to be around. She's so cheerful. She's so positive about everything. She is wonderful. This entire episode, I think she handled everything great, which is clearly, you know, more of a cover for things, but she's being very mature in the moments like this, and she's trying to be a good host to these people. She's trying to show that she cares for other people or give them these things, and she's putting her own feelings and situation and everything aside to allow other people to not feel a type of way, which I think is wonderful. Absolutely love her. I think she's great. I like being offered food and being like, no, we couldn't. And getting attacked. And then the subtle little jokes here as Kamari is just like, oh, what? I never had this, and taking her time trying to figure out what she wants as everything's just slowly disappearing because Yanami won't stop. Wait a minute, we're staying overnight? Everyone had a plan and didn't want to tell him because they'd feel the type of way. I love when Kamari smiles. She's so goofy. She's so not used to it. Let any one of you who has never been dumped be the first to throw a stone at the losing heroine. They always got the longest, most insane title. Awesome episode. I thought it was great. The show's an absolute blast, and I hate the fact that I've taken so long to get it back around to it. It's just trying to catch up on other things and being lazy, and then when you have a stockpile of things, sometimes you feel like you have a little bit more room to not have to force yourself to do things. It becomes an issue, but hopefully I don't continue to make that same mistake, and hopefully we can slowly get through. The plan still is, as always, one day a week. I think I could get these up once a week. I don't see why I shouldn't. Probably every Wednesday, I think, is the plan. If the spring comes around and we're still doing this for whatever reason, it'll probably move to 2 days, but I don't think that'll be the case. So probably once a week till we end up finishing it out here, though. But I'm having a great one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. To want to me, feel free to check out the video on the channel and comments with the Splitter series. I'll be back for episode 7 next week as we adventure through some fun times of getting Lemon to open up a little bit, hopefully, and also just hanging out as a squad. I think is great. You guys have a great one. Peace.